This is Matches for Pro Boxing fans. I'm delighted to be joined and very surprised to be joined by Molly McCann, Matchroom show. How are you feeling about the announcement?
And I just jumped over the fence and edged my way in here. No one knew that I was coming, but I'm buzzing. I'm buzzing. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. So obviously you have retired from MMA now. When did you realise I'm doing it, I'm going to boxing? Was it on the day of that, or when did you think about coming here?
Ever since I started MMA, I knew that on either the decline or when I'd be finished and achieved everything I needed to in MMA, I'd come over. Always had a few conversations with Edwards. I've always had a few conversations with a few of them to see what would be best for myself. But yeah, I knew this was the place for me. I knew this was the company and the promotion for me. And I'm just excited to do what I should have always. I knew it was going to be this way, but this would be a nice end to fighting. The way that I started fighting, I'll be ending fighting.
Yeah, like I say, you speak about how you started fighting. Eddie touched on this, the amateur background. How long did you box before stepping into the MMA world?
I think about 3 seasons of amateur boxing. I was at the Golden Gloves in Liverpool. There was a few of us in there who won national titles and schoolboys and juniors over them 3 years. Yeah, we come from good stock, and it was tough because that amateur style has to completely leave when you do MMA. You can't rotate as much, you can't be as frantic on your feet and bouncing in and bouncing out. So it was tough to transition to MMA, and it just takes a bit of thinking to bring yourself back. But it's just like riding a bike. It's you fall off a few times, but you're straight back on.
Yeah. Now, obviously, neither is easy at all. But what would you say you might find yourself more suited to, easier between MMA and boxing?
I think with the shape of me and the amount that I trained in MMA, next generation and my coaches there done an absolute worldie on what we managed to get out of me. I had the shortest reach in the whole of the UFC, not just my weight, the whole, and the fights that I had and how they manoeuvred me and how they coached me and got me ready was excellent, do you know what I mean? But boxing will be easier in one way, in terms of it's what I know. You always go back to type. If I was in trouble in an MMA fight, I'd always go back to swinging. Yeah. So if everything goes to shit when I'm in the boxing ring, it's cool because I know how to do that in there. that's like me baby. That's what I know what to do. Yeah. So yeah, it's just the hardest thing. Like say, adjusting your stance, head movements again, and just working, figuring out. In situations, how do I respond, and is that the correct response? And it mostly has been, but I don't know, some pro fighters still make mistakes, so there'll be plenty on the way, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of success also.
Brilliant. Eddie mentioned MMA fighters that have transitioned to boxing. He doesn't think there's been one that has been world class yet. Who do you think has been the best so far to transition from MMA into the boxing ring?
I don't know anyone who's done it
Baron's doing it.
Yeah, but that's influencer stuff. That's not proper boxing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's doing well at what he's doing, and he's showing that he can box. But I haven't really seen anyone try and do it this way. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? I'd have to have a think. I'm not trying to be disrespectful on that. I just don't really know. Yeah. But I could have gone to that route. Do you know what I mean? But I thought it's not about making money for me. It's about the prestige of bringing home that belt and those honours. So that was my thought process for this.
Yeah. Now, last two, another person that has stepped out of the UFC to boxing for the time being, Dana White promoting Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Mm-hmm. How do you think that fight's going to go?
I can't wait to watch it. I think Canelo will win because of the size difference, because it was the same when he fought Bivol. I thought he was going to win, but Bivol was just a bit too big, and I think there's weight classes for a reason, and maybe that be like Conor and Chris. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes that's it's just a step that's just a little bit too far. But I think that watching Canelo's training camp at the minute, you can see he's adjusting for a fighter who's going to be faster and lighter. And I think you can see Crawford knows he's probably going to have a bit more in the tank than maybe what Canelo will. But I think it should be an absolute masterclass from the pair of them, and we'll all be extremely lucky to witness that fight.
Yeah, and do you think Dana White will stay in the sport of boxing for some time after this fight, do you think?
Well, he's made a new promotion, lad, so I imagine so.
Yeah, definitely, Molly.